That's just how we've always done it.
Every day, your brain makes thousands of decisions.
But here's the question. How many of them did you actually think through?
Thinking is not always easy. Thinking is not always unconscious. In today's AlphaMinds Daily, let's look at the cost of thinking, why your brain would rather believe than investigate. You see, your brain is incredibly intelligent, but it's also incredibly efficient. Thinking carefully takes energy. Every time you solve a difficult problem, challenge a long-held belief, or weigh evidence from different sides, your brain has to work harder. Psychologist Daniel Kahneman called this system 2 thinking, the slower, more deliberate part of your mind, because it requires effort. We naturally avoid using it unless we have to for a reason. Instead, we rely on system 1, the fast automatic part of the brain. That usually works well, but it has a weakness. It accepts familiar answers quickly. It prefers certainty over uncertainty. It likes stories more than investigation. That's why people often accept ideas simply because everyone believes it. My parents taught me, it's our tradition. Someone important said it. I've heard it so many times. Not because those ideas have been tested, but because questioning them requires work. This doesn't apply only to religion. It applies to politics, to health, to money, to relationships, to culture, to social media, to every belief you hold. Imagine 2 people become sick. One immediately goes to the hospital where doctors spend years studying anatomy, physiology, pathology, pharmacology, and clinical evidence to diagnose and treat disease. The other believes a miraculous cure happened because someone prayed or performed a ritual. If both recover, the second explanation may feel more emotionally satisfying because mystery captures our attention as humans. But feelings alone don't tell us which explanation is supported by evidence. Medicine works because treatments are tested, revised, and improved through observation and research, not because every treatment succeeds, but because claims are continually evaluated against evidence. Our brains naturally gravitate towards explanations that feel complete. Science asks something more demanding. What evidence would convince us we are wrong? That's the question. What evidence would convince us we are wrong? That question requires effort, but it's one of the most powerful habits a human being can develop. The future doesn't belong to those who believe the fastest. It belongs to those who are willing to think the deepest. Now let's go to the timer section. Today, I want you to pause before accepting your next explanation. Ask yourself, what evidence supports this belief? How do I know it's true? If I had been somewhere, maybe born somewhere else than where I was born, would I still believe this? And let's try this challenge. Choose one belief you have never questioned in your life. It could be about money, success, your health, relationship, culture, religion, or yourself. Spend just 15 minutes looking at the strongest evidence against it. You don't have to change your mind. Just prove that you're willing to use it. You're willing to think it through. You are willing to spend the energy on thinking about this particular belief. This is AlphaMinds Daily. I'll see you tomorrow.